News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And I know that haze seems like it builds throughout the day a little bit.
Yeah, as you can see, the sun starts to rise, and what you think might be fog, you know, it's smoke, wildfire smoke. In fact, I look at the air quality alerts across the region. Because of that smoke, because of that haze, you got air quality alerts in effect for our region until midnight tonight, and that also might be extended too. We'll keep a close eye on that. And when it comes to the actual air quality, yes, we are under alerts, but how bad is it? Still in the red category like yesterday. It's not dangerous, or extremely dangerous at all, but you want to limit excessive time outdoors. You want to limit strenuous activity, the usual sorts. Those of you who are sensitive to pollutants, you want to limit your time outdoors, though. So this is mainly driven for health concerns for those of you who are susceptible to it. This is not like what we saw in 2023 with the health concerns where everyone should have stayed indoors. Downtown Utica, hazy skies out there today. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s to low 80s, and throughout the day today, sunshine, isolated shower in the higher elevations. We'll track that, plus the potential for rain in the next few days. And when this wildfire smoke comes to an end, straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The combination of scorching heat and all over the continent is creating difficult conditions in cities from the Midwest to here in the Northeast. NBC's Sam Brock has more this noon from New Jersey.
There is a noticeable feeling of just smoke hanging in the air here in New York City. We are standing on the other side of the Hudson River in Hoboken, New Jersey, to try to give you some perspective. Over my shoulder here, you have the Empire State Building, obviously all the new buildings near the Hudson Yards area of the west side of Manhattan. You can see the skyline, but also visibility is a bit challenged this morning. Mayor Adams just coming out only hours ago and warning New Yorkers that have any sort of breathing or respiratory issues to really try to limit their time outside today. The reality is the AQI, the air quality index in New York, is around 110 here in many other parts of the state. That has prompted an advisory. If you move just even farther east, Boston, for example, has an AQI of 115. Yesterday, Logan International Airport had to slow down flights by about an hour of delays just to be able to accommodate for low visibility. So what's behind all of this? It's 200 wildfires burning, all of them out of control, simultaneously in Manitoba and Saskatchewan, Canada. That smoke that's being manufactured is drifting all the way through the upper Midwest into parts of the Northeast as well. The expectation that smoke will likely linger for another day, but hopefully then disperse. It's also worth noting some of the worst air quality anywhere in the country right now is in the Central Coast and parts of California. That's because you have a huge fire that is exploding in Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties there. That has prompted mandatory evacuations that just continue to expand even now. Hundreds of structures that are being threatened. And it's worth noting that California already has almost 230,000 acres of land that have been burned this wildfire season. That is roughly 100,000 more than what you would typically see at this time of year. So some scary thoughts in terms of the terrain and what's happening out west, as far as we are also seeing just the heavy wildfire activity to our north affecting quality of life issues right now in places like New York and Burlington, Vermont, and Boston. Sam Brock, NBC News.
And the DEC and State Department of Health issued an air quality advisory for us today as well. For sensitive groups like those with heart or lung disease, children and the elderly, the recommendation again is limited exposure.
First thing would be not to exert yourself too much outside when you are indoors. Limit your time outdoors. Stay inside a greater amount of time, if possible, of course. And again, when you're outside, if you happen to have asthma and you have an inhaler, I'd suggest just having it with you in case breathing becomes a little difficult.
With this warm weather patterns that we are anticipated seeing, we're going to see smoke and spikes in smoke in central regions tomorrow.
Again, the best way to stay up to date on the air quality is with our team of meteorologists. And if you are out and about, you can always check the News Channel 2 weather app. Well, New York has welcomed Democratic legislators from Texas as they work.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are tracking that wildfire smoke impacting our local air quality. And as we look at the satellite feeds behind us, what we can see is that some of that smoke is pushing to the north, at least the thickest of it. And although we're tracking some of that smoke still locally here, it is expected to improve slightly over the next day or so, again, as that stream of winds push that smoke outside of our area. In the meantime, what can you do in this situation? Well, you don't have to avoid spending time outdoors. The air is not that toxic, but you do want to limit pushing yourself outdoors, increasing your heart rate. There are still pollutants in the atmosphere from the wildfire smoke, of course, so avoid strenuous activity outside. To be safe, keep your windows shut. That'll prevent any of that smoke from going indoors. And you don't have to wear masks outside. Again, this is not like what we saw in 2023, where masks were preferred with how polluted the atmosphere was. So our forecasted air quality today, you can see in the areas in orange, that's where we are right now, the Great Lakes region, including central New York, in that orange and red category. And as you look at what's left of this wildfire smoke over the next couple of days, you can see how it will gradually fade away a little bit. We're not out of the woods entirely throughout the day Wednesday, but as we head throughout the week, things are going to improve, at least quality-wise in the air. Still, great tool to have. Download the Storm Tracker 2 app. It'll send the air quality alerts direct to your phone. You can scan using the big code right here, or the small code right below me will be underneath me during every weather broadcast. The radar is dry, with the exception of one isolated downpour north of Speculator in Hamilton County. As we expected today, there could be a few very isolated downpours, a couple of scattered ones tomorrow, and then on Thursday, a few isolated ones again before things dry up again on Friday. And the reason for it is due to the wind shift direction here. This is all due to mainly elevation. So the Adirondacks, Catskills, even parts of Otsego County, unlucky locations might see a sudden downpour. Maybe I shouldn't say unlucky. Some of you might still need the rain. But we head into Wednesday. There's a better shot for a few scattered downpours here and there. Otherwise, mainly dry conditions. These are garden variety thunderstorms. Nothing severe is expected with these. Then by Thursday, same story. Elevation-based sudden downpours. That ends, and then things dry up Friday, and we warm up. This coming weekend, if you're wondering, well, it's already August. When are we going to start prepare for spooky season or Halloween? Don't worry, no Halloween season, no pumpkin spice just yet. We're still in the 80s. We got plenty of sun and summertime weather by this coming weekend. So I think it's definitely pool weather this weekend, Gary. Go out and enjoy all the heat.
That's for sure. And you got your Halloween tie on.
Oh, yeah.
A little preview.
A little festive.
Yeah. Eric, thanks. Well, if you're a fan of date, meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now, and we're still keeping an eye on that Canadian wildfire smoke. And this camera in particular, you can see it pretty well.
Yeah, from our Cavity Tower camera up here on Smith Hill, you can see the haze over the valley. Same thing, Oneonta, Cooperstown, Utica. Still a bit hazy out there today. We take that full screen here, you can see some of that haze. And a reminder, I do want to say this to everyone watching. It might seem that this is a sudden new thing. Wildfires have always been a thing. Wildfires are actually natural and healthy for vegetation, especially in the areas in central Canada, which of course are very remote, very difficult to access. But if you're wondering whether some of them are not putting out, because again, it is a natural phenomenon in the Earth's natural cycle. Wildfires are healthy. They help add more nutrients to the soil, and it allows the small shrubs below the massive tree line to start growing again. Unfortunately, though, a few times in the past few years, we've gotten the brunt of it here locally. So again, this is not something that's a sudden, never happened before. It's always happened, just we've gotten more recent impacts here locally due to those, I would say, unlucky wind directions. So for now, still, air quality alerts are in effect. We have unhealthy levels right now. Limit excessive time outdoors, avoid strenuous activities, and those of you, again, who are unusually sensitive to pollution, avoid your time outdoors today. We mentioned isolated storm chances today, and here we are with an isolated downpour right outside Indian Lake. In fact, about a year ago, I believe I hiked this mountain with Bill, so we would have been right on the mountain with a heavy downpour right there. So again, the next 12 hours, temperatures are in the 80s with plenty of sun. Again, isolated thunderstorms. We're tracking rain chances over the next few days, plus how long this wildfire smoke sticks around, coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Now to more in the battle over redistricting.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today, similar to yesterday, it is a bit smoky out there. Wildfire smoke impacting our air quality. And what can you do in a situation like this? I'll let you guys know right here. First off, should you avoid spending time outdoors? No, this is not extremely hazardous. You can still go outside. You can sit by the pool, cook out, grill. This will not be extremely hazardous to your health. But we do recommend not exerting a whole lot of excessive activities on your body throughout the day today. So if you plan on running or doing anything of that sort, I recommend holding off. Keep your windows shut. This is a key here. Yes, again, it's not going to be that bad, but if you want to keep the wildfire smoke out of your house, keep the windows shut. You have dehumidifiers, air purifiers, the air conditioning units that are not attached to the outside. They refilter the air. All those can help you keep your air clean in your house. And no, you don't need to wear a mask outdoors. The air quality is not that bad. But still, again, here's a look at the latest numbers here. We are in the orange and in some parts red area, which is the unhealthy for some to unhealthy category. And as I mentioned previously, those are what you need to do in a situation like this. So we're still tracking some wildfire smoke over the next few days. It's going to lighten up progressively, but still it's going to be sticking around a little bit. So for the latest on air quality alerts, download the Storm Tracker 2 weather app. You can scan it using the QR code right there, the big one right next to me, or you can always scan the little code that's always below me right there with your phone. It takes you to the Android or at least the Apple Store, and you can download the app there. As we mentioned today, it's mainly dry, but look at this. We have a few downpours popping up in the Adirondacks. And we're still tracking isolated downpours today, a few more of them tomorrow, and then some lingering isolated downpours Thursday before we eventually dry up entirely by Friday. And so today, after a dry start, there are those downpours right here. Some of them could fire up in the Catskills and the foothills in the Otsego County area, but other than that, the Mohawk Valley looking dry. Tomorrow, a stray downpour might move into the Mohawk Valley. They're going to fire up in the higher elevations first. Then they'll weaken as they move into lower elevations. But still mainly dry day. Then Thursday, a few more downpours and thunderstorms in the higher elevations. That ends, and then the summertime heat is in full force again by this coming weekend in the upper 80s. Summer not going away anytime soon. So I mentioned again, Gary, no pumpkin spice, at least for the foreseeable future. I know I'm a little festive right now. I'm thinking more, I think it's more Syracuse or more fall colors.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're getting ready for football.
Football season, that's right.
Eric, thanks. Well, three young black...
With Kristen Copeland.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. The air quality continues to be a concern, but we have to be air quality aware, and knowing what the numbers mean will mean for a healthier life. Of course, if you have pre-existing conditions like asthma, the state health department is just recommending that you limit your outdoor activity. This air quality alert is in effect until midnight in central New York because of the smoke from the wildfires in Canada. The haze about the same as it was yesterday when pollution levels were elevated. Again, state health department saying stay inside if you can. It's especially important for people with respiratory problems. We're going to get you to Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis for an update on the particulates in just a second, but first, AAA is giving us advice on driving when the air quality is poor. Sure, the smoke reduces visibility, but it can also make its way into our vehicles. You're going to want to keep your windows closed and set the vents to recirculate. Look at your car's manual to see what that button looks like. What that does is prevent air from getting into your car. But if it does, you just need to stay on top of it.
Most people don't know. You can replace your cabin air filter. There's an air filter that captures small particles, and it will definitely improve your air quality coming through the vents, especially with what's going on today. So try to utilize that.
AAA says those traveling by air should also be aware the smoke can cause flight delays, so be checking in with the airline that you're flying with. Let's get you caught up on the forecast and, again, the particulates, what this air quality alert means with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Well, some good news and bad news. Good news is it's not any worse than yesterday. It's actually slightly better. Bad news is we're going to be dealing with this for a couple more days. Let's take a look at what we're talking about. We're now in the unhealthy for some category. The levels are slightly lower than yesterday. We went from 150 yesterday to about 120 today. And again, for most people, you wouldn't even know the difference. Again, for folks that struggle, you want to live in your time outdoors, you have underlying health issues, this is going to continue through tomorrow. And it doesn't look like this smoke is going to leave anytime soon. One of the biggest issues is there's just not a lot of wind in the atmosphere to push this away. It's bringing us a beautiful weather pattern, though, for the most part. We're dry, a couple of thunderstorms showing up in the Adirondacks. There's going to be the chance for a few pop-up storms tomorrow region-wide. 85 degrees, it's very warm outside. But again, we've got some haze. Conditions are going to remain the same this evening, hazy skies. A couple of showers and storms in the Adirondacks. There will be a better chance for storms tomorrow, at least region-wide. We are tracking some very warm weather ahead, and also going to track the air quality and how that's going to change over the next couple of days. Look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Thank you. The Justice Department recorded the interviews of Jeff.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good evening. We continue to track the air quality across central New York. The levels haven't changed very much since yesterday. They are slightly down, but not a very noticeable difference. It is going to remain unhealthy for folks that are very sensitive to air quality issues, underlying health conditions, elderly, young children in particular are going to want to limit their time outdoors. Through Wednesday, unfortunately, it doesn't look like this is going to change anytime soon. The source region continues to be northern Manitoba. We're looking at fires from the satellite image. This was taken just moments ago from our satellite GOES, which is something that can watch weather patterns across North America. And just to give you some perspective, here's the Hudson Bay. Here we are in New York. So we've been seeing, you can actually go backwards here. This is all of the haze. This is all the wildfire smoke that's coming from this source region. And unfortunately, the winds are not changing very much. And so this is the projection for wildfire smoke over the next couple of days. It looks like it's just going to linger here in central New York. Smoke continues to be an issue through tomorrow. We're going to take this through Thursday as well. And again, notice the smoke's still around. It's going to take some kind of weather mechanism to push this out. And unfortunately, we're not seeing that happen anytime soon. We'll take things day by day, but at least for the next 2 days, we're expecting similar levels of air quality over the, again, through tomorrow as well as Thursday, between about 100 and 125. Reminder, you can always download our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. There is some weather going on tonight in the Adirondacks. We're tracking a few showers, a few rumbles of thunder. This is in Hamilton County. This is along the higher terrain, and it will stay on the higher terrain as we get into this evening. Tomorrow, we should see a few pop-up showers across the region. We'll take a closer look at this, again, impacting areas like Lake Pleasant, Speculator, a few lightning strikes, a few downpours, but again, staying in the Adirondacks this evening. It's a very warm day, upper 80s across the board, Westmoreland 87 degrees, 82 in Oneonta, 82 in Cooperstown. We've got a dome of high pressure in control of our weather. There will be a small disturbance that will create a couple of pop-up showers and storms tomorrow. We're dry tonight. Overnight lows drop down into the 60s. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, a few pop-up showers, and maybe a rumble of thunder is possible. Temperatures climb into the mid-80s. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies. On Thursday, we're looking at partly sunny skies too. Very small chance of a shower Thursday. It looks like mainly in the Adirondacks. High temperatures in the low 80s. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 61. Another hazy day tomorrow. Temperatures in the low 80s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunshine Thursday and Friday. The weather warms up. Temperatures will be in the upper 80s Saturday and Sunday. Close to 90 by Monday. Widespread thunderstorms return on Tuesday. But again, this wildfire smoke just kind of lingering around.
Yeah. Will the storms push it out, or could it do that?
Tuesday looks like the best chance to sweep this away, but that's almost a whole week away.
All right, Bill, thank you. What do you think of Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis?
So we're talking about air quality and the wildfires in Canada causing all this smoke. One of the reasons why this is going to continue over the next couple of days is because there's not enough wind in the atmosphere to clear out the smoke. We're thinking this is going to be around at least for the next 2 days, and unfortunately those wildfires are not looking to go out anytime soon. They're happening in incredibly remote regions of Canada. The northern part of Canada is just very difficult to get up there, and these fires are actually very large as well. A reminder, too, we were talking about this yesterday, but I just want to remind folks, if you didn't hear about this, it's okay to run the air conditioner. Many air conditioner window units are fine to run during poor air quality. This also includes central air. A lot of these take in air that's already in the house. The ones that you have to be careful of are the portable AC units. Sometimes outside air can mix in with those at times. But again, it's always best to check with your manufacturer if you're not sure. We are tracking a few showers and thunderstorms to the north this evening in Hamilton County, as well as up towards Old Forge. We will see a few of them pop up tomorrow afternoon, but for the most part, it's a dry and very warm weather pattern. Temperatures will be in the 80s throughout the rest of the week. If you are taking the dog out for a walk this evening, temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Pretty warm evening ahead and still very hazy. Faith from Cassville is tonight's featured dog. If you want to be part of this, head to Skycast WKTV on Facebook. This is brought to you by Nissan. Kristen, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Today, the United States Coast Guard.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good evening. We're continuing to track wildfire smoke and poor air quality here in central New York. The levels are down slightly compared to yesterday. The air quality index yesterday topped 150. Today it's hovering at about 125. It's a very small change, but it is a change in a slightly better direction. But again, I think for the average person, you probably can't tell the difference. Live look in Oneonta, it's still seeing plenty of haze, 81 degrees. It's been a very warm day. Again, with today's poor air quality, we're continuing to advise people that, yes, it is safe to go outside for most people. The ones we've got to watch out for are folks that already have underlying respiratory issues, along with elderly and young children. Those folks would want to limit their time outdoors. Keep your windows shut. This goes for everybody. Just because we're dealing with a multiple-day air quality issue, you really don't want this stuff to be breathing in long periods of time. Even if you don't have any problems with it, it's not great. Unfortunately, the smoke is just going to linger here in central New York. There's not a lot of winds to drive this out. And so we're looking at air quality to stay about the same for the next 2 days. We're hoping that things will eventually change, but I'm not seeing anything obvious here in the extended outlook. So we'll take things day by day. And again, I guess the good news is we don't expect anything to get any worse. It should be about the same or maybe a little bit less over the next couple of days. Reminder, you can always download our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. You get weather information on the go. We are tracking showers and thunderstorms in northern Herkimer and Hamilton counties. Some lightning strikes here just south of Old Forge. These are dropping south, but they're mainly in the higher terrain. We're not expecting this to impact the Mohawk Valley. Tomorrow, though, we could see a few pop-up showers and storms. 84 in Clinton, Barneveld 79, Curtis 81, Jeff and Mohawk 82, Westford 78, Paynes Hollow 81. We have a dome of high pressure in control, but there's going to be some weakness in that high, and that could create a few pop-up showers and storms tomorrow. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight. We're dry. Overnight lows drop down into the 60s. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies. A few pop-up storms are possible in the afternoon and evening. Temperatures climb into the low to mid 80s. Tomorrow night, the weather clears out and we'll drop down into the 60s. Thursday, Partly sunny skies, a very slight chance of a shower in the Adirondacks, otherwise a dry day. Temperatures in the low 80s. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 61. Another hazy day tomorrow. Air quality about the same as today, maybe slightly better. A few scattered storms, 82 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Partly sunny skies Thursday and Friday, highs in the low 80s. It gets hot heading into the weekend. Sunny skies Saturday and Sunday, temperatures in the upper 80s. Near 90 degrees on Monday and Tuesday, with our next chance of widespread storms Tuesday afternoon. We'll be right back.
An air quality health advisory remains in effect for Oneida, Herkimer, and Otsego counties and beyond. And this is because of the smoke from the Canadian wildfires. The haze is about the same as it was yesterday. When pollution levels are elevated, the state health department recommends you limit outdoor activity, especially if you have a respiratory problem like asthma. Let's get you caught up on the forecast and get an update on the air quality health advisory with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Well, the air quality alerts have been extended into tomorrow. As for today, the levels are about the same as they were yesterday, slightly down. The air quality index at about 125 the last time we checked. Yesterday was 150. Again, just a very minor change. Change for the better, nevertheless. But again, it is going to be an issue here for the next couple of days. The unfortunate news is there's not a lot of wind in the atmosphere to carry the smoke away. And I do think we'll be dealing with this for at least the next couple of days. We are tracking a few showers and a few thunderstorms in the Adirondacks. This is just south of Old Forge. A few rumbles of thunder with this. 8 lightning strikes in the past half hour up in Hamilton County. It's going to stay up there here throughout the course of this evening. We're expecting dry weather in the Mohawk and Southern Valleys. 84 degrees the current temperature. As we head into this evening, temperatures will remain on the warm side in the upper 70s, low 80s, hazy conditions. Again, we're tracking the air quality along with a few chances for thunderstorms, especially tomorrow. Going to look at the forecast coming out. Kristen, back to you.
AAA is giving us advice on driving when the air quality is poor. The smoke can make its way into our vehicles, so you'll want to keep your windows closed and set your vents to recirculate. Look at your car's manual to see what the button looks like. And what that does is prevent air from getting into your car. Also, change your cabin air filter and be aware smoke can reduce visibility.
When you're driving, what we're really recommending is doing the same thing that you do if it's weather outside, poor weather outside. Slow down, don't tailgate. Give yourself some space.
AAA says those traveling by air should also be aware smoke can cause flight delays. An award-winning movie shot right here.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good evening. We're continuing to track air quality. We've got the alert day that continues. The air quality index 125. So it's enough where it's affecting sensitive people. If you have underlying health issues, elderly, young children, want to limit time outdoors. You can see the haze. It's a live look from Oneonta, 81 degrees. It's been a beautiful day aside from the air quality issues. But again, this is affecting our area today. We're asking folks to keep the windows shut. Again, it's not bad enough where you want to limit time outdoors for the average person. You don't need to wear a mask outdoors. It's not quite that bad. But we are looking at multiple days where the air quality isn't great. And it's best to breathe less of this stuff if you can avoid it. Especially since we're going to be dealing with it here for the foreseeable future. And here's why. There's very little wind in the air today. There's nothing to carry this smoke out. A lot of times we have a cold front that'll sweep through and push this out. The winds will come in from the south. Just not seeing that anytime soon. So this looks to be similar through tomorrow, likely into Thursday. We're hoping that the levels go down somewhat. But that's, again, something that we haven't seen any strong evidence of this changing, or at least clearing out. A reminder, you can always get weather alerts on your phone. You can download our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. Today, the air quality alerts were extended into tomorrow, and that was one of the things that went off on the app earlier today. Showers, thunderstorms in the Adirondacks this evening. These are in the process of weakening, but I think we'll see a few more of these tomorrow region-wide. Sky watchers, temperatures in the 80s. Bob and Clinton, 84 degrees. Barnabelle, 79. Inlet, 79. Curtis, 81. Westford, 78 degrees. High pressure and control of our weather. There's going to be a weakness in the high, if you will. It's going to create just a couple of isolated storms tomorrow afternoon. Tonight, we're dry. Overnight lows drop down into the 60s. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies. The chance of a pop-up shower storm. Locally heavy rain is possible. There's not a lot of wind in the environment, not only to clear out the smoke, but to move any storms that do develop. Temperatures will drop into the 60s tomorrow night. Thursday, partly sunny skies. An isolated storm is possible in the Adirondacks. High temperatures once again in the low 80s. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 61. Tomorrow, hazy. Scattered storms, 82 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather looks dry for the rest of the week. Into the weekend, the weather warms up. Temperatures climb into the upper 80s Saturday and Sunday, mostly sunny skies. Looks like that intense summer heat starts to return Monday. Could be another 90-degree day. That would be number 8 on the season.
Wow. All right, Bill, thank you. Still to come here on News Channel.
News with Ben Kinney.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Jason has the night off. The air quality alert for the area has been extended until midnight tomorrow for central New York. That means the poor air quality will be sticking around for at least one more day. It's your top story. The haze is about as the same as it was yesterday. When pollution levels are elevated, the State Health Department recommends you limit outdoor activity. It's especially important for people with respiratory problems like asthma. Let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Bill Kardis with an update on the air quality right now. Still seeing unhealthy for some. Is this going to be improving at all?
Unfortunately, no. I mean, the downside is the weather is so nice that there's no wind to carry the smoke anywhere, and so it's kind of lingering. It's stuck here. And this is our pattern for the foreseeable future. The numbers are down slightly compared to yesterday. Air quality hovering around 120. Yesterday, the AQI was 150, and that's such a minor difference. We're still asking people to use the same precautions that they did yesterday, as well as tomorrow. That's going to be very, very similar. This smoke is coming from wildfires in Canada and Manitoba specifically, and all that smoke's being carried in the jet stream, and it's just lingering here in central New York. We need a wind to carry that away. A reminder, too, going to bed tonight, you can safely use window AC units along with central air. They draw in air from the inside of your home, so you can run them during poor air quality and not take air in from the outside. The only ones you might want to be careful about are those portable AC units, the ones with the hoses that attach to the outside window. The live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, it's quiet. Had a couple of showers today in the Adirondacks, a few rumbles of thunder. Current temperature 71 degrees, clear skies. Tonight we drop into the low 60s. Good night to, again, leave the window closed and run the air conditioner, maybe the fan. We have a chance for some thunderstorms tomorrow. I've got to look at the forecast coming up. Ben, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you very much. AAA giving us advice on driving in poor air quality. Sure, the smoke reduces visibility, but it can also make its way inside our vehicles. You want to keep your windows closed, set your vents to recirculate. Look at your car's manual to see what that button looks like on your model. What that does is prevent air from getting into your car, but if it does, you just need to stay on top of it.
Most people don't know. You can replace your cabin air filter. There's an air filter that captures small particles, and it will definitely improve your air quality coming through the vents, especially with what's going on today. So try to utilize that.
AAA says those traveling by air should be aware the smoke can also cause flight delays. New tonight, the Herkimer community came.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good evening. We remain in alert mode. The air quality is still over 100. And we are seeing some hazy conditions out there this evening. A live look in downtown Utica, temperature of 71 degrees. The air quality will basically stay the same through tomorrow. Unhealthy for some, which means if you're sensitive to this, you suffer from respiratory ailments. If you're elderly, young children, groups that are particularly vulnerable to this are going to want to limit their time outdoors. The majority of the public doesn't have to abide by that. Or wear a mask outdoors. But you may want to consider shutting the windows before going to bed tonight because, again, breathing this stuff in over long periods of time isn't great either. A lot of these air quality index numbers account for the relatively short term, but I'm thinking more like this is going to be around for the next several days. So keeping yourself away from it as much as possible is always a good recommendation. By the way, the fires, we can see them in Manitoba. Look at how far north they are. They're so big they show up on weather satellites. They are massive. And these are not going away anytime soon. I've been reading some very strange comments in social media kind of insinuating that it's Canada's fault that these are happening. You have to appreciate the scope and the magnitude of these fires and the fact that these are incredibly remote. It is a very, very large feat to try to put these fires out. And we got to understand that. This area, there's hardly any roads to get up there. They're hundreds of miles away from an airport or fuel. So these are some pretty tough things to contend with. Just want to put some perspective here. As we look ahead, some light smoke will continue in central New York. This is going to linger around. There's very little wind in the atmosphere, which means this is not going away, unfortunately. It's nice weather, but it's not the type of weather to clear out the air. So again, we'll keep that in mind over the next couple of days. Reminder, you can always get weather alerts to your phone by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. One lone shower in Rensselaer County to the east. Otherwise, it's a pretty quiet night across upstate New York. We had a couple of showers out there earlier today in the Adirondacks. We might see a few more tomorrow. There's a weakness in the atmosphere that could promote some scattered storms. This is Skycast showing it tomorrow afternoon. Again, a couple of pop-up showers and storms are possible. Temperatures climb into the low 80s. Tomorrow night, the weather looks quiet. Thursday, very slight chance of a pop-up thunderstorm. Temperatures climb into the mid-80s. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 61. Tomorrow, scattered showers, a few thunderstorms possible in the afternoon, hazy 82. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. It looks so quiet. Beautiful sunshine.
Don't say that word. Oh, Lord.
Upper 80s, yeah. Quiet is a very bad word to say around here. We just worry about what's the next thing. Well, at least the extended forecast is looking hot. Might be tacking on a few 90-degree days by early next week. We're up to 7 now. I think we might be adding a few more.
It's definitely August, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Bill. Coming up next.
Comes first with Ben Kinney.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Jason has the night off. The air quality alert has been extended until midnight tomorrow for central New York, meaning that the poor air quality will be sticking around for at least one more day. The haze is about the same as it was yesterday. When the pollution levels are elevated, the state health department recommends that you limit outdoor activity. It's especially important for people with respiratory problems like asthma. Chief Meteorologist Bill Kardis has been tracking those numbers and has more on when this may clear up. And my goodness, it was just unbelievably hazy, unbelievably smoky out there today.
Yeah, and the problem is that we have such nice weather, and it's just, there's nothing moving in the atmosphere, so this is just lingering around. The numbers are down slightly. Yesterday we had an air quality of 150, which put us in unhealthy. Today at 125, just a very small change.
Yeah.
Not enough where we're asking people to change the way they've been behaving through this process. And again, we're really focused on folks that have respiratory issues already. Young people, elderly people want to limit their time outdoors. And again, this wildfire smoke comes from Canada, and it's been blowing across the jet stream and again, just kind of lingering in central New York. And that's going to be the case here for the next couple of days. Just a quick reminder, you can run air conditioner units tonight if you need to. A lot of these use indoor air and don't have a problem with any outdoor air mixing in. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look pretty quiet across the region. We had a couple of showers and downpours in the Adirondacks earlier. Temperature of 71 degrees, clear skies, and we will cool off tonight. We'll drop into the low 60s. Air quality about the same tomorrow. We're also tracking the chance for a few pop-up thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. I've got to look at the forecast coming up. Ben, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you very much. AAA is giving us advice on driving when the air quality is poor. Sure, the smoke reduces visibility, but it can also make its way into vehicles. You'll want to keep your windows closed and set your vents to recirculate. Take a look at your car's manual to see what that button looks like for your model. So what that does is prevent air from getting into your car, but if it does, you just need to stay on top of it.
Most people don't know. You can replace your cabin air filter. There's an air filter that captures small particles, and it will definitely improve your air quality coming through the vents, especially with what's going on today. So try to utilize that.
AAA says those traveling by air should be aware. Smoke can also cause flight delays. New tonight.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good evening. We remain in alert mode as we continue to monitor the air quality. It's not great. It's going to stay that way for the next couple of days. Live look in downtown Utica, 71 degrees. You can see some haze that continues in the sky. Again, the air quality index a little bit above 100 today, and that's unhealthy for some. We're continuing to ask folks that are sensitive to this, if you have respiratory issues, elderly, young children, avoid long periods of time outdoors. For the rest of us, we can go outside safely, but you want to just consider maybe closing your windows before going to bed tonight, because we're looking at a prolonged period of poor air quality. It's not great to breathe this in over the course of several days. And again, the source region is Manitoba, Canada. There's been a lot of wildfires have been taking place. Take a look at this. This is from our satellites from outer space. We can see these from the satellites. These, it almost looks like pencil marks pointing to the north. That's the wildfires and the smoke. And this is this big plume of smoke that's made its way all the way into central New York. Now, just to give you some perspective, these fires are massive and they're extremely remote. There's hardly any roads that go up into this part of Canada, and it's hundreds of miles away from airports and fuel sources. It makes it incredibly difficult to fight these fires. I think that's one misconception that I'm reading on Facebook, that it's just something that's being neglected here. And I can assure you that's not the case. It's just very, very difficult, extremely rural terrain, far away from a lot of civilization. As we go forward, smoke is going to continue to impact our air quality, and the main reason why is that there's very little wind in the atmosphere. It's a beautiful weather pattern. It's bringing us lots of sunshine, but it's not dispersing the smoke. The winds will be very light over the next couple of days. We'll be dealing with this for the short term, the foreseeable future. Reminder, you can always download our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's quiet. We did see a few showers and a few rumbles of thunder in the Adirondacks earlier today. We could see a pop-up thunderstorm tomorrow. There's going to be a very weak disturbance in the atmosphere. Tonight, overnight lows drop down into the 60s. Tomorrow, a passing shower or a thunderstorm possible in the afternoon. High temperatures in the low 80s. Any showers that do develop will be very slow movers. We could see some locally heavy rain. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight lows in the 60s. Thursday, we're tracking a very small chance of a passing shower storm, mainly in the Adirondacks and higher terrain. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 61. Tomorrow, scattered thunderstorms, temperatures in the low 80s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather remains dry as we head into the end of the week and the weekend. Temperatures warm up. We'll be in the upper 80s Saturday and Sunday. We could hit 90 or warmer by Monday, which would be day number 8 for the 2025 summer season.
There are records for that?
There are. The last time, or the highest number recently was 1999. We were in the upper teens. I think it was 15 or 16 days.
Okay, so
yeah.
not even close.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much,
Yeah.
Bill. Coming up next.